Hello and welcome back, Shinners, to the Shin Dig podcast, where I, Tom Hutley,
and me, Matt Pengelly,
get under the skin of the trials community. This week, we have a legend, a trials legend. He goes by the name of
Mr. Scott Wilson. Dun, dun, dun. Or we also came up with a new name, Squilson.
Squilson.
That's his nickname. How you doing, mate?
I'm all good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing all right in cold, miserable London today. Where are you at the moment?
I'm in cold, miserable Kent. I'm hiding in the shed, my little man cave.
It does look pretty cool. There's a lot of trials paraphernalia I can see dotted around the place.
Yeah, it was originally meant to be like a gym kind of thing, but I don't use it for that. So I just put frames on the wall. That's literally it.
It was a gym, but
so those of you, if you're on audio and can't see this, I can see some frames. Is that an Onza at the top there? I can see.
Yeah.
What well spotted.
Wow. I just noticed that was an Onza.
Yeah. Good luck if I got the other ones.
I need glasses, don't I?
There's about 5 frames there. Do you want to walk us through them, Scott?
Right. So we've got Onza Limey, the classic. Onza Limey 3 was good.
26, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You've always really ridden 26, right?
A bike, yeah.
We've got an Onza Genesis and an Impulse.
Yeah, I can see that one. Nice. Yeah, that's a unique shape. I don't need to be able to read it.
We've got a Rockman Gabbro, which has got an awesome snapped frame, which looks done it in one go, pretty much done the whole down tube in one go, which is nice. And I've got 2 B1 K3s, or bikes as they're known. Yeah.
There we go. Is that what it was meant? What was it known as?
Yeah, B1 K3. It's like bike.
In like cool kids.
Yeah. Mate, that's taken me 15 years to work that out. I didn't even realise. Wow, sorry, yeah, just
mind blown when you see
brain fart or mind blown. I'm not really sure.
You're the tech guy.
Anyway, Scott, tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been riding for? Yeah, even he can't. And what keeps you riding?
I've been riding. Well, I've been running competitions for 24 years. So I started like a week after my 6th birthday. Why do I keep riding? Literally the only thing I was ever good at, so I thought I'd better stick to it. I was like,
I always use that term too. You stick to what you're good at. Yeah, actually, probably why I'd never sell a trials bike, because no,
just something I've always done it since say when I was 6 years old. Just started, and it's just always been that constant thing. It's just always been about riding. That's always been like my main priority, and just always done it.
I think you've always been a name in the community, regardless of the year and kind of what you were doing.
Yeah, like I said, I try to be. No, I think just because I've been, say, quite active in comps. So I was always at the Essex comps, always at the Hampshire ones, always at nationals. So I was just always around, just hung around.
Yeah, a lot of people seem to know you, Scott.
Yeah.
Really, even the forum riders. And I know them when we first met, back probably 8 years ago now, when we stayed in your lovely house, letting us go over. Yeah, hi there, come stay in my house. You're a stranger. Like that's what it's about, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, you got to talk about a seat. Well, you're not going to rob my shit.
Yeah. That's how I mean. Most people always turn up and go, "Can I sleep in your dining room?" All right.
And that was my first experience of you. We went straight to Germany, and different country, all different riders, and everyone knew Scott was. Everyone knew all these German riders, like, hey Scott. And sadly, they also knew who Andre Burton was, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But he was always just the guy that people seem to know. And at an extremely young age, you also went on a famous TV show or something.
Yeah, you've got a lot of accolades, really. So not even riding for quite some time. You're also a world champion, right?
Yeah. How many times, actually? You can
only
correct me
once.
If I'm wrong. Just once. That's all you need.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was 3 times.
Why do I need to do it again?
But yeah, you also have an accolade that I don't think any other trials biker has, right? In the form of a badge, right?
Yeah. Good old blue Peter badge. I got it when I went on the show when I was 10 years old.
Mental. I wasn't even riding trials at 10 years old. I like.
Not even, yeah, I was about to say was I even born, but yeah, I was just like Charlie wasn't born.
No, yeah, I'm not even sure. Was Charlie riding then? Yeah, no, Charlie wouldn't have been born.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have been born.
Whoa.
So what year was that, Scott? So
That
you were
was
10 years old.
No, 2000. Well, I went on the show in 2001, but yeah, I was still 10 years old then. So yeah, that's depressing when all these riders. I'm like, so my career peaked before these kids were even born.
You got it for us, man.
This guy's just a tadpole. He doesn't even have any arms yet or legs, and
Yeah,
somehow.
That's it.
Man. You can see. Well, one of the main things that I myself do find hard, especially for riding for so long. You've been riding for longer than anyone I know, actually. Yeah. How do you actually stay motivated? What keeps you to get out and going on your bike each of those days and just keep the what's the word? Look at the enthusiasm there. You know,
it is hard at times, and it kind of changes. So, the last couple of years, I'd say the enthusiasm did drop down a bit, and that was purely just because a lot of my local riding friends kind of stopped, and it's kind of hard just to kind of force myself to go out and ride on my own. Especially when I wasn't competing as much, so I didn't have a goal to be like, right, I need to go ride. So I've got a competition the weekend. So so I've got to ride on my own. That's it. But yeah, for a lot of my career, it was the competitions that done it.
Right.
When you know you've got to compete on a Sunday, it's like, oh, I can't really sit around during the week. I've got to go and put the effort in, at least just to make sure the bike's working, I'm working. And because I always had trips planned, it's like, I want to make the most of these trips. I want to be in good shape. I want to be ready to ride. Especially the last few years, it's been just getting into group rides and meeting up with people and the social side of it as well. So I'm quite lucky this year, because during all this COVID stuff, it's actually got a lot of new people out riding. Well, a lot of the old guys that have got back into it, and that's been really good to be like, right, let's go ride this weekend. And you're not going big, you're going massive, you're not training for anything. You're just riding for the fun of it and picking out different lines and just having a laugh with it. So yeah, motivation, it changes, but yeah, you just got to try and find something. Yeah,
that's what kind of brings a lot of our rides together. You have this two areas of people who just ride for fun, which is probably what we do.
Yeah.
We're just out there to get a buzz, get the adrenaline running. But I think there's other riders that can take it quite seriously, or necessarily they're actually training to a means to an end almost.
Yeah.
But whichever way it is, it's still driven to ride your bikes for fun, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that. And it wasn't so much like the competitive side as well. It's just because I liked, I get to go up to Yorkshire and ride a really cool venue, so I better make sure I'm riding well to make the most of it, kind of thing. So it wasn't so much about I've got to train to win. It's just, it's gonna be a cool trip, so I might as well, It
was, yeah, I suppose a day out. I remember that, doing some odd Essex bike trail ones. You go to places you'd never heard of before. Satnav would always just take you to a random field, and you'd be like, just the right entrance. Because Satnav's got the postcode would just be a general area. Yeah. So,
there's stuff in the field there. There's like a cotton reel. That's definitely us.
It's like a trial guy.
Is that a scrapyard? No, that's a trial section. Yeah. There we go.
Exactly that. Just knocking on people's houses. Is this where the trial is? Yeah. No. Stand in that field somewhere.
Right, we've introduced another new bit that we recently tried with our episode earlier today with some old school riders. Yeah,
right.
Because there is such a thing. Before Facebook was even around, us trials guys still had our little community. The old trials forum.
Trials.
You remember? Do you remember Trials Forum? I mean,
yeah, that was the place you posted your videos. You got your.
Oh, we know that you're actually still active on that forum. That forum gives us a lot of it
to dig up there. Trials Forum was sort of dead and buried. For those of you who didn't use Trials Forum, it effectively is what MySpace is now. So you wouldn't expect anyone to go on and use MySpace. And it could be, if you go back through it, you wouldn't want to find your old MySpace profile. So that's kind of
the equivalent now is probably a Facebook group. Trials UK would be now the equivalent, I guess, of what the content we're putting on Trials Forum. What I've noticed, only from having gone on it first time in God knows how many years.
Yeah.
That the content from the Trials UK chat Facebook group, if you're not already on there, you should join it. That content is quite often going on to forum, and we have noticed some users still using it, and you being one of them, Scott.
I've got to share my video somehow.
I know. No, it was a nice surprise, but I think Tom
I just thought it was dormant and gone. Like Bebo's my.
Still has to maintain it, right?
Yeah, it's still got to pay for the domain. And
like what I know I loved the most is no comment or post has been deleted. You can go back to people's very first.
Now, I think you got off very lightly, Scott. This isn't your first post. No. But, it's about your new video. This is in February 2005.
Jeez.
If you're watching the video, I'm going to put this overlay on the screen. Says,
oh, no.
Hi, dudes. My name's Scott. I'm 40. I've made a new video and it's now on my site, scott-wilson.co.uk. You still got that domain, yeah? That's still you?
You can still go there.
Maybe it's still there, who knows? The quality is not the best, but because of our camera. But I think it's come out well, and I think I've got some good music on it. AFI in brackets.
Yeah. I'll tell you what
if you could give me any feedback on what you think, please do. Thanks. Yeah. So I like the right we had on before. Steve-O's was a bit quite embarrassing.
But you wait.
I'm trying to think what it was. Is it like? I think it's like one from like World Championships. I think. Right. It's like our camera. I had like a 30-second burst. You had to do like 30-second filming, and that was it.
Yeah, I think in the comments I went down and people were going, "Oh," because I didn't realise how critical people were on videos on Trials Forum.
I hate posting on there.
Like now, it's like you put something on YouTube or something like that, and you get everyone, or if you put anything on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, everyone is just always thumbs up, appreciative. But on there, it was like, "Oh, the editing's not very good. Oh, your camera's not."
That was before like those discussions were a thing, and no one who really thought they could. They were like, "Oh, they can't see me or hear me. I'll say whatever the F I want," So I think that it's before Facebook was a thing, and now people didn't know what keyboard warriors were. Yeah. But this was the start of it.
Yeah, especially doing that to a 40-year-old kid, that like scarred me for life. I was like,
there are some other brutal ones that we've seen that we'll bring up on some other stories. But if anyone's also interested, what was your Trials Forum name, Scott? Just to remind people, because it is public, so anyone can go and find that.
Yeah, like 5 times. It was Scotty Evil 1.
Scotty Evil 1.
Now I think.
Yeah,
you even that face even looked like
yeah, and they won't let me change it, so I'm like stuck with it forever now.
We also ask every one of our guests the same. Is it 3 or 4 questions?
I think it's 3. You made them up.
It's 3. 4. Well, one of them being very much on brand. Can you remember your worst Shin Dig? Have you got a story? Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Or everyone does. Okay.
The one that was
the one. Give us try and give us the details on this one.
I kind of got 2 because one's a proper Shin Dig and one's just an injury that happened to my shin, so it's kind of related.
Yeah, I think as long as if your shin took a digging, that's acceptable, and it was bike related.
Yeah. So I remember my best one, which I still got good scars from. What was it in? I was on my old Monty, getting it all set up for a comp.
Monty's.
Done all the practicing, just trying to take out no shin pads, no helmet, no gloves. Jumped on it, rode round the corner, my pedal stuck into, I think I had a sleeper on the floor. Stuck into that, I spat myself over, hit my shin, just ripped it straight open. Literally like riding around the corner in the garden. So
just to make that clear, so everyone knows, you weren't trying a trick, you weren't doing a move, you were cycling around a corner to get somewhere.
Yes, in the garden. I literally rode around a sleeper, clipped it, and said bang.
You've heard it, you've seen it all now. You see, it's not always about the crazy moves that you have to do.
Yeah,
well, that's 2 of them that have come from not actually doing a trick.
Yeah, I don't even.
Charlie's one was a drop.
Charlie's was a drop. Yours is going around the corner. At some point we need to share ours because I know yours is
that was just this year, so that's pretty bad.
But I've got one kind of shin-related injury that kind of redeems it. It's a bit more impressive.
Go on.
So it sounds good because I was it's like invite only, kind of indoor arena trial in Spain.
Invite only. Wow.
It's good when you know the organizer.
They
Trials royal.
so they didn't invite you and you snuck in. Is that what you mean? Or?
Basically, yeah. That's what I do. Just turn up. So it's like second section a day, and it's football goals, and they like laid them down. So I'm riding along this beam. I was nervous about it because my balance isn't that great. So riding along, didn't realise there was a bit of a kink. Went panicked. Front wheel slipped off. I fell down. Legs gone either side. I've jumped off and checked the vital areas.
Credit carded yourself, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, we're all okay. It's all good. Look down and I just see my shin bone, the pure white. I was like,
"Yep, that's."
And I'm looking at my going to cover it up. I don't really well with blood. So I'm like, so he wrapped it up for me. Then after a while, I was like, it's not too bad. I'm here, so I might as well carry on. So I rode the rest of this comp, made it to the finals, rode the final, did better in the finals. Then they're like, yeah.
With a shinner, yeah.
Yeah, with my legs seizing up, massive hole in my leg. Then I'm like, right, we're done. Let's go to the hospital. So I'm walking up to the road to the hospital now. Oh no, change of plan. We're going to go to your award ceremony now. So I walked back half a mile through the town, limping. Finally get on stage, do this whole award ceremony, get to the nurse's office. And by this time, of course, they've unwrapped it and my leg goes, all this blood comes out. I refuse to look. They've got to have one nurse to hold my leg together and another nurse to do the stitching. And my mate is pissing himself. He's like, look, what? I'm not looking. And of course, he's getting selfies with it. And yeah.
Well, speaking of that, are there any? He says he's got some selfies with it. Do you think you can be able to dig out a picture of that shindig somewhere? Or
that will be up here.
Quite a recent post on my Instagram because it was in September, so it's a bit of a throwback picture. It's awesome.
Brilliant. We will definitely get that one up and share it with the rest of the listeners because that is the one important factor that brings us all together. And so far, most of the shindigs that we've had, it hasn't been on big moves, and I'll be honest, it seems to be a trend.
Yeah,
but we'll gather the data and let you all know and find out. I realise we should probably find out what shoes and pedals they're using.
There's so many variables to this.
Public service here, helping out the community.
Finding out what's the best way to avoid shins.
Option is
we found that on average, the most pedal that gave the most damage.
And that's just riding around in a circle.
On to our next question then. What's your favourite spot, Scott, that you like to ride? What's your favourite spot?
Oh, it's tricky. They're just
they're definitely not. We don't want to ask easy questions.
No, especially if it's somewhere I haven't been in a while. All of a sudden, that's my favourite spot. But I kind of go-to spot.
I agree with that too. All right, let's go with this. What's your favourite spot at the moment? What's
I think my favourite spot at the moment, my local spot, which is Toad Rocks. Only because the last time I rode there, it was perfectly dry, it was sunny, all the lines were really grippy. Yeah, so it just felt amazing. It's kind of.
And where's that? Sorry, Toad Rocks. Where is that from?
It's in Tunbridge Wells in Kent.
Tunbridge Wells. So
and,
Toad Rocks.
Never been there.
No, maybe we should add it on some kind of app that people use. I don't know.
There's an app out there.
I think we'll have to.
No, never heard of one, mate. Never heard of that. No, it's a good spot because if anyone knows Bouffier in France, knows kind of rocks.
Yes, I've been there. Yeah,
it's that kind of style. So when it's dry and you get the conditions just right, it's lovely. It's lovely.
But in the wet, they're stupidly slippery.
Oh yeah, you will die.
And what would be such your favorite kind of spot at the moment? What would be your favorite move or your most satisfying move at the moment? I know that may change too.
No, so I'm not good at side up. So when I get a nice side up, and when you do the brakeless landing, you do a slight roll, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's satisfying.
I compare that to peeling the plastic off your iPhone. If you land a brakeless side up, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah,
because you're just like, and I'm still rolling here.
Something else. There's one other movie I've been randomly doing. It's not very impressive, but it just keeps me entertained. So it's if there's two walls, gap down, stop halfway between, stand back and like spin the pedals and like wheelie into the next wall.
Yeah.
Like a wheelie
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Flowy. That is a bit of Scott Wilson, isn't it? I can just see you doing that. You do like that.
Again, in summer, I went through a phase of doing it like on every wall. So I drop off, spin the pedals, and just wheelie tap. It's just so nice.
Can't not do it. Just has to.
Yeah, no, it's just like wrong foot forward every time now.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's so satisfying, guys.
The final question I was going to ask: what is your biggest inspiration at the moment? It might be a rider, maybe video, but what sort of is inspiring you at the moment?
To be honest, I think it's just like the local group of guys we've got at the minute. We're calling like the back in the day crew because they're all like riders from back in the day. We've kind of got back into it, and it's just because the rides are really fun. So we're not like trying big stuff. We just kind of push each other. We know each other's limits. We kind of push each other a bit, have the fun. Yeah, that's what's going to motivate me because there's like no comps or anything. Yeah, I haven't got like a goal. So it's just nice to be like, I want to go out with these dudes, have a fun.
Yeah, there's no end goal to work towards.
Yeah, get that. Like, yeah, but it's just nice to go like, oh, you know, you're gonna have a good day. So you know wherever you're gonna go, you're gonna have a good ride. Yeah, that's kind of
a nice bit to look at. I think it's very like that move you was talking about. That's kind of like, again, it's not like a particularly big move, but it just adds like another element to it, another fun thing to do. And it's like, I think that was one of the novel things when you started trials, because everything was novel when you started off. Every backward. So having those kind of fun tricks,
that's what's been. I've been trying to do it on a ride recently. Is just adding those fun tricks, or like do like manifesto style stuff. So you're like hopping, or even like a little bit of breakless lines. It's just that kind of fun. It adds so much to like a simple line, and just makes it so much fun.
So for those riders, those that don't know, Manifesto was basically the style. It was Ryan Leach, wasn't it? Who came up with that, and it's the idea that you don't have any correction hops between every kind of move. So you'll get up something and then just straight to rear wheel, then from rear wheel, like no hops in between. And
and it really makes you think about your riding. You don't realize how many correction hops you do unless you're thinking. As soon as you pick your back wheel up, front wheel up, you go out. Oh, I've got to go now. It makes you think so much about your body positioning and makes it so fun as well.
I can't ride my bike and ride man.
I know every time we do this right now, it's just so like dark and miserable.
Yeah.
But
about to say something, Matt.
I forgot what I was going to say then. I lost track.
You're I think one of the cool things that you do as well, Scott, is you're quite prolific on YouTube. You've got a little YouTube channel, and
I started that up. Yeah,
I think that's really good to see, because the general tendency, like with Instagram and other YouTube ones, is that everyone goes down the street trials route. You know, everyone knows Danny Mac, and you've got the bigger sort of guys, Duncan Shaw and all that are on street bikes. But you're on an actual trials bike. Yes.
Actually, if you look at the trials community in terms of that discipline, you're the only one that's vlogging that right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but in terms of YouTube channels, you know, you're putting out more content than Mr. Andre Berg. You know what I mean?
And I keep my shirt on for it all. This is amazing.
But where can they find your YouTube channel, Scott?
My YouTube channel, which I started last year, is Scott Wilson 54. So if you just search for that, you'll see that. And yeah, because it started out, again, give it a motivation over winter. Because I've watched a lot of vlogs and stuff, like with downhill races and motocross guys. And yeah, I thought it might be interesting to do. The plan was to do it like, if I go to World Cups, vlog like before the World Cup, the training and the road trip side of it. But of course, that's not happened. But yeah, I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. And again, it gives me a bit of motivation, because I don't ride with many people when I'm here on my own. So it's like, if I take my camera out, I've got to ride because I've got to film something and I've got to put something out. So again, it makes you get a bit creative and gets you a bit of a plan going. It has tailed off a bit recently just because I've run out of ideas, and so I just did random videos. But
no, this is going to be the next video, right?
And this week, I went on the Shin Dig podcast.
Yeah, this is it. This is actually it.
That's what we was hoping.
This is my vlog.
Easiest one he's ever made.
Yeah.
It's good. And I think what's important really is that consistency. And I know you have kept up and kept posting things and keeping the videos coming out in conversation. You know, people always say they want more videos. People have been saying they want a podcast. There's only I guess some of us just just get on and do it, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Despite, regardless of the outcome, just do it. That's what.
Yeah, well, I think it's very much the same token of riding. You know, when I go out riding, we don't expect anything big, and you know, same with these podcasts. I don't expect anything from them. It's just more fun to sit down, have these conversations.
Yeah,
maybe set mini milestones, and
people will connect with it, and people will get something from it, and it's always cool when they do as well.
Yeah, whether it's just one person, or if it's just us, being able to sit in the same room with each other. Oh no.
So how many years have you actually been riding, Scott? I don't think we picked on a number. So you started at like.
I will get my finger thumbs up.
You haven't got enough fingers,
toes.
mate. Yes.
This will be my 24th year. Yeah.
24 years. So you almost, maybe I'm a bit older than that, but like that is it's longer than you've been 4 years old. Wow.
Well, I say that actually, it's probably a bit long. I say I've been competing since I was 6, but I had like a 16-inch Monty when I was like 4 or 5. So I guess that counts. And I don't want to
you might be the longest Rolls rider I know then, technically. Yeah, I think so, mate.
I've got to have an achievement somewhere, you know.
He did the top of his game there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I've got to keep going. That's what I'm got to make it to the milestones now.
You've had
30 years, 40 years.
Major number of sponsors too over the years.
Yeah. I mean, quite a few different bike brands and quite a few kind of non-trials brands, which has been good. They've been quite loyal to me for every few years, no matter what I've done. It's been quite cool. Yeah, I think I've done most bike brands over the years.
Yeah, I think you've probably had every trials bike brand. Yeah, I know that you're right.
So I've done Monty. That was cool because like everyone rode a Monty and like P was on a Monty, so that was awesome.
I had a Monty all the time. Did you have a Monty, Tom?
A Monty? No, nearly. I nearly did. I nearly buying a 221 PR frame off a Trials 4 at one point.
I missed out. All the cool kids had Monties. And back when I won my title,
he's got a Monty on his leg. You're the only person that has a Trials logo tattoo so far.
That's how dedicated I was. When I was 15. I mean, whatever age you want me to say. Yeah.
age I was allowed a tattoo.
Yeah. So I had Monty because when I won my title back in those days, if you won a world title riding a Monty would give you a bike. Wow. So I got free bike money, and they used to do like a little brochure and have all their like world champions on it. So the one time I won it, they put someone else's picture on. They got me molded up some like German guy.
Oh no way! Wrong recognition. But did you get the bike?
I got the bike. Yeah,
that's the most in.
Then.
I just remember there was a couple of guys who'd asked me. They wanted to find out how many years. Do you remember how many years you rode a 20-inch until you got like a stock? How was your progression in bike gone?
Pretty much 10 years. So I rode all my junior years on 20-inch. So I was with that Monty and Cox bikes for a while, and so I won the cadet class in 2016, which was like one of the junior classes, and now I got promoted to elite, and it just seemed like a good time to go to 26. Like all our top guys were riding 26, and I was quite a bit taller than people my age, and I thought I might as well go for it. Yeah, but I actually had 26 a couple of years before that. I had a 26-inch Monty. So I was like 14. I was riding that in the Hampshire club trials. Still not sure why. I just did. But now I went to 26 when I was 17, just because it was going up to elite. All the elite guys in the UK rode 26. And it kind of seemed how to kind of keep me in the loop a bit more as well.
So did you find that you were hitting a plateau on the 20-inch? Excuse me. You weren't really progressing, you had to move on to a bigger bike? Or
not so much not progressing, but it just it got to a point where everyone who I've been competing against or looking up to were all 26-inch riders. There are a few 20-inch riders still, but I kind of done that the kids group, and I thought if I'm going to elite, everyone rides 26, so I might as well kind of join in with those guys really. On the world scene, it wasn't as popular. So it kind of gave me a bit more kind of recognition because I was like a 26-inch rider on the world scene. But now it's just one of the things I just thought, now I'll give it a go. Because of my height, I was like 6 foot then. I thought it kind of fitted kind of my build a bit more. Yeah, and I thought I'd give it a try.
It's like jumping to that. You didn't have to adapt or anything.
No, it's actually it's weird. Everything felt, for a while, everything felt slower on a 26. Everything rolls a bit better. I was like, oh yeah, I can actually tap things and I can roll. Instead of having to hop the back wheel up something, I can just get away with almost like rolling up things. So I had to change my technique a little bit. Because where I dabbled between 20 and 26 for a while, I was kind of used to it. Because going from 20 to 26 was okay, but going from 26 back down to 20, that has kind of confused me. That felt so weird.
It throws me how some riders can do that. You know, I mean, Steve-O was always one. He still can now. He just grabs someone else.
Yeah,
bike.
This year he didn't he? He just rode it like it was a stock. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know about you, Tom, but I get on a stock, can't do anything. Like
I've never really ridden. I've thought how to build things, you know.
The thought to kind of progress into that, but I certainly found that 20 has always been my thing. So I'm curious to see, you know, how so many riders I've spoken to that actually get, you know, just jump and get better, going on a bigger bike, and that feels better for them. But,
I think it kind of suited me. Once I kind of got used to a few of the techniques, I was just using those techniques a bit more, so it felt easier for me, better for side ups, tapping. There's a technique I really like to use. So yeah, running at 26, it really suited. But yeah, going back to 20, is impossible now.
Do you own a 20? Or?
No, I borrowed one randomly at the 2015 like UCI World Champs. I hadn't ridden for a 20-inch for 9 years, and there's our good friend Andre Burham was like, yeah, because this is back in the day, you could ride 20 and 26. He's like, yeah, you should ride 20-inch, and I was like, yeah. And then Owen Gorthorpe, who was riding junior, he's like, yeah, borrow my bike. So he literally finished his comp, gave it to me. I had 5 minutes to warm up, then that was it. I was riding the UCI World Champs on a 20-inch.
It's such a normal. I think I remember that year because even Dre entered as well. Yeah, he had his.
Yeah, he rode 20-inch on and off, so he's actually quite good on 20-inch. But there's me, like, what do I do with this thing? And I couldn't. It was like the first section I got to, there's a rock, and I was like, I don't know how to pedal up a rock. My time is all I just get riding into this thing. By the third lap, I got it.
Roll up it. You say I have to jump.
And by the third lap, I got it. I was like, yeah, and I was so happy that I knew I can do the rest of the section. So I just did a bunny hop 360, and I was like, that's me done. That was it. That was my finishing. I was like, I can't do more than that. So yeah, so 20 inches are just dangerous now. They're too twitchy, too small.
Not much room to on, you know, rails and things like that. People, I don't know. Just one
stick to a man right now.
Well, you know, I finally like to think that I had that experience. I've got a 24-inch now. Oh, it's behind us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The green beast.
I can see it now because I was doing some gaps and other moves, being like, I know why they can do these side ups because it's easier with a bigger bike.
Yeah,
it's easier with a bigger bike. I don't know. Being biased now, it looks more impressive on a 20. You know,
20 does look way better. Like, yeah, watching the world, I think it's just
we're just going to be biased there, you know. Because that's what I found. Like you know, you've been running for a long time, Scott, and a lot of the stuff that you do, you just make it look a little bit too easy.
Well, see,
that's what it's got to that style now. Is like, just casual gap here, and all of us are like,
yeah.
And
so that's all it's working. I don't try going big. I just go like, you don't see me hiding in the corner before you guys get there. I've got to nail this move perfect. Then when you guys turn up, oh yeah, I can do this one first try, guys.
In a minute, or the most common one. Come on, Scott, you can get that, mate. That's big. I'm like, Scott, and you just smash it. Like, oh yeah, I can ride.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a problem I've got. One of the guys I was riding with last weekend, they're like, do this gap. I'm like, that's impossible, mate. No, I went, try it. I did. I went, all right, maybe I should have a bit more self-belief.
Yeah, see? You know, it's like, I think you probably lack in that knowledge, knowing that you're better than you think you are, whereas perhaps he just thinks he's better than he is. Yeah. That's why he's still Captain Crash.
I think I'm too obsessed with now getting things perfect, though. I'm like, I've got to make this look good, make it smooth, rather than just being like, just hammer at it.
It's got to be fun. That's the motto.
Yeah. I mean,
make it cool.
Yeah. You got to get that buzz, the feel good. You know, the pulling the plastic off your iPhone style.
That's my style. Yeah.
Nice and smooth.
Well, that's it. I think this has been. I think we're almost running short on time, man. What have you got a message that you want to give to the trials community, keeping people alive, keeping people going through winter?
Yeah, just find the fun in your riding. Don't worry about, progressing the side up by a centimetre or an inch. Just go. Think of trials. You can do it anywhere, and you can make fun of it. You can go out on your driveway and draw some lines and make something like that. Use a curb and just don't worry about like inch pinching. Watch some old school videos. Watch some like Ryan Leach manifesto. Watch some brakeless guys, Ackrig, and just learn some lines and just have fun with it all, man.
I think that's a good thing, actually, having like limitations, saying right, you can't. They used to do it on trials forum years ago. Maybe you used to have like curb competitions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You would film just you riding a curb, and that would be your limitation. And it used to be so much fun just riding.
Just get creative with the curb, or the gap itself. But and if anyone wants to ride with Scott, you can. What was your Instagram tag?
So it's Scott Wilson 54. Yeah, and just give me a shout, and I'm always up for riding. I'm always up for meeting new people and new spots, and I just need friends, really. So just message me.
Scott, no,
local buddies. Yeah.
We're your friends, mate, and
internet friends.
That's why we're connecting virtually, because we haven't got any other friends elsewhere.
Yeah.
I did think we were like scraping a barrel this early. It's not a good sign, man.
No. Actually, it's the afternoon now, so it's okay. We're off the. I can't use the morning as an excuse anymore. But Scott, I was really really glad to have you on and get some insights on your
thank you.
life.
Thank you very much for being on. I mean, I feel like we've had a true trials legend on here. I was trying to work out what actually determines someone as a trials legend. Is it someone who's been riding since before 2000? That's
we're going to have to come up with the definition of a trials legend.
Riders, they don't ride now, but like you go back and go, oh, that's such and such, or that's
a legend in their own right. Whether that just be, I mean, he earns it from the Blue Peter badge. I don't know any other trials rider with a Blue Peter. Right.
The Blue Peter badge in my defining part of my career, I think. Blue Peter badge,
Well, you put the sport out there before we even knew about it. Do you know what I mean? Imagine, just think, who knows? I'm thinking to myself,
Scott's like looking at us.
I wonder if I watched.
Think you're doing with a podcast. I was on TV 19 years ago. You with the
I made a trial section in the Blue Peter Garden, mate.
Well, that's it. I was trying to think, like, did I watch that? I wonder if I watched it as a kid, not even like realizing.
And subconsciously, Scott put trials in your head.
Yeah.
And he's always there when you go to bed.
Basically, your whole career is down to me. Is that what you're saying? Matt's career.
Potentially. And the fact you just called it a career makes me feel even better. Because I think I only did 2 years of comps, and he came,
Okay, your journey then, your bicycle journey.
Bicycle journey, mate. Thanks again. You've been an absolute legend, Scott Wilson. Everyone,
no, thanks for having me on, guys, and good luck with it all.
Thank you very much, and all you Shinners for listening. Who's next? Who's our next person on our show?
Our next one, but don't tell anyone that.
We haven't. No, I think we do, or we don't.
There's a few in the pipeline.
There's a few in the pipeline. Nothing's been set, but we will have